Let me ask you something. When you make a mistake, what's the first thing that happens in your mind? Do you say something gentle like, "It's okay, I'll do better next time"? Or do you hear that small, harsh voice that whispers, "I'm so stupid"? We all have this inner voice. It's called self-talk. It's the quiet conversation that runs through your thoughts from the moment you wake up to the moment you fall asleep. But here's something many people never realize. The way you talk to yourself shapes your confidence, your motivation, and even your energy. It's like the background music of your life, always playing, always influencing your mood. If the music is harsh and negative, you'll feel tense and tired. But if it's kind and supportive, you'll feel calm and capable. In this episode, you'll learn how your self-talk builds or breaks your motivation, and how changing your words can change your world. Because when you learn to speak kindly to yourself, you don't just learn English better, you also learn how to live better. And if this lesson gave you something useful, I'd love it if you tapped like and subscribe to the channel. It helps you stay connected, and it also helps this little learning community grow. Every click really does make a difference. With love, let's dive in. What exactly is self-talk, and why does it matter so much? Self-talk is the stream of thoughts and words that flow through your mind all day long. It's what you silently say about yourself and your experiences. For example, when you drop something and think, "I'm so clumsy," that's self-talk. When you say, "I'll get it right next time," that's also self-talk. Every sentence you tell yourself creates an emotional effect. Your brain listens carefully. It doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. If your inner voice is full of fear or criticism, your body feels stressed and tense. But when your inner voice is warm and supportive, your body relaxes and your energy rises. This is why self-talk matters. It sets the emotional tone for everything you do. Whether you're learning English, going to work, or trying to improve your life, the words you say inside your mind shape how strong, brave, and confident you feel. Once you understand this, you can begin to take control of your inner language, and that's where true change begins. How does self-talk influence your motivation every day? Have you ever felt excited about a goal at first, but then slowly lost motivation after a few days? Many people blame themselves, thinking, "I'm lazy" or "I can't focus." But often, the real problem is hidden inside their self-talk. When you tell yourself, "This is too hard," or "I'll never finish," your brain loses interest and shuts down. Your energy fades because your inner voice is discouraging you. But if you tell yourself, "It's difficult, but I'm learning," something changes. Your brain releases small bursts of motivation. You start to believe you can do it, step by step. Motivation doesn't grow from pressure. It grows from kindness. Encouraging words act like sunlight on a small plant. They give life and warmth. So the next time you feel unmotivated, pause for a second. Listen to what you're saying in your mind. If the voice sounds tired or cruel, replace it gently with one that's calm and understanding. When your self-talk becomes kinder, your motivation naturally returns, and challenges begin to feel lighter. Why do we sometimes speak to ourselves so harshly? You might wonder, if self-talk is so important, why am I often so negative with myself? The truth is, this harsh inner voice usually doesn't start with you. It begins with what you heard growing up. the voices of parents, teachers, or other people who criticized or judged you. Maybe someone once told you, "You're not smart enough," or "You always make mistakes." Those words may have faded from memory, but the feeling stayed. Over time, your brain turned those old voices into your own. They repeat inside you, even when the people who said them are long gone. You might believe that being hard on yourself helps you improve, but it actually does the opposite. It fills you with fear and shame, which block growth. When you understand that many of your negative thoughts aren't truly yours, you can begin to let them go. You can decide to stop repeating old pain and start creating new patterns. Patterns that sound more like encouragement, not punishment. How can awareness help change your inner dialogue? Awareness is the first and most powerful step toward change. You cannot heal what you don't notice. Every day, your mind creates thousands of thoughts, many of them automatic. So start by simply listening. Pay attention to how you speak to yourself in small moments. When you make an error, when you're late, when you're trying something new. Notice if your words are gentle or cruel. You don't have to fight those thoughts or judge them. Just observe them, like watching clouds pass across the sky. The moment you become aware, you gain power. You can pause and choose a different response. Maybe you catch yourself thinking, "I'm useless." Instead, you can quietly say, "That was a mistake, but I'm learning." Awareness turns unconscious negativity into conscious choice. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. Suddenly, you can see what's really there and decide what to keep and what to release. Can positive self-talk really make a difference in your life? Yes, it absolutely can. Positive self-talk isn't about pretending everything is perfect. It's about giving yourself permission to be human while staying hopeful. When you say, "I can handle this," or "I'm trying my best," your brain responds. It releases chemicals that help you stay calm and focused. Scientists have proven that kind inner dialogue improves performance, creativity, and emotional health. On the other hand, negative self-talk creates stress and makes your mind feel smaller. Positive self-talk builds emotional space. It doesn't mean ignoring problems. It means facing them with courage. Think of it like this. When your inner voice becomes your friend, challenges feel like opportunities instead of threats. This doesn't happen overnight, but with practice, it becomes natural. The words you repeat every day slowly rewrite your inner story, and that story becomes your reality. How does self-talk shape your confidence? Confidence isn't a gift you're born with. It's something you build, word by word. Every time you tell yourself, "I can do this," you strengthen your inner foundation. Every time you say, "I'm proud of my progress," you add another brick of belief. But when you constantly say, "I'm not good enough," you slowly tear that foundation down. Confidence grows from daily repetition, from speaking to yourself with honesty and patience. Mistakes don't destroy confidence, shame does. So instead of saying, "I failed," try, "I'm learning what doesn't work." Notice how the second sentence feels lighter and more open. The way you speak to yourself teaches your mind how to treat you. Speak to yourself the way you would to a close friend, with compassion and faith. When you do, confidence stops being a dream and becomes your natural state of being. What happens when self-talk turns into self-criticism? When your inner dialogue becomes full of criticism, you begin to live in a world that feels unsafe, even inside your own mind. Every mistake feels like danger. Every small failure feels huge. You might push yourself harder thinking it will help, but it only makes you feel more tired and disconnected. This is because criticism creates fear, not growth. You can't build your best self under constant attack. Encouragement, however, creates peace. You can still hold yourself accountable, but from a place of understanding. For example, instead of saying, "I'm terrible at this," say, "This is new for me, and that's okay." Instead of, "I'm so slow," say, "I'm learning at my own pace." These changes sound simple, but they change how your heart feels. Self-criticism blocks progress. Self-kindness opens the door again. When you remove judgment from your inner language, learning and living becomes joyful again. How can we begin to rewrite our inner script? Think of your mind like a book full of chapters written over many years. Some chapters are full of love, and others are full of old pain. To rewrite your inner script, start small. Take a few negative thoughts you say often. Maybe, "I always fail," or "I can't do this." Write them down on paper. Then, next to each one, create a new sentence that feels gentle but believable. For example, "I always fail" becomes, "I failed before, but I've also learned and improved." Read your new sentences every day. Over time, these words start to feel true because your brain learns from repetition. It's not about lying to yourself. It's about reminding yourself that you are allowed to grow. The more often you speak with kindness, the stronger your new inner story becomes. And slowly, the old script, the one full of self-criticism, begins to fade away. Why is kind self-talk a form of self-care? Most people think self-care means doing something physical, taking a rest, exercising, or enjoying a hobby. But emotional self-care begins inside your mind. The tone of your self-talk directly affects your mental and physical health. When your words are kind, your body feels safe. Your breathing slows, your heart rate balances, and your brain releases calming chemicals. This is why talking to yourself kindly is not weakness. It's emotional intelligence. It's understanding that your mind needs softness, not pressure, to perform well. Each time you choose compassion over criticism, you protect your energy. So when life feels heavy, try saying something small but powerful like, "I'm doing my best," or "I'm proud of myself today." These gentle phrases act like medicine for your nervous system. They heal from the inside out, one word at a time. What if you don't believe your new thoughts yet? It's completely normal to feel that way. When you first start practicing positive self-talk, it might feel fake, strange, or even uncomfortable. That's because your brain has been repeating negative phrases for many years. You're not lying to yourself. You're simply learning a new language, the language of self-kindness. Imagine planting a seed. You don't see results right away, but with time, sunlight, and patience, it grows. Your new thoughts work the same way. Even if they don't feel natural now, keep watering them with repetition. One day, you'll notice that the kind phrases feel easier, more believable, and even automatic. You'll realize that your inner world has changed quietly, like a room slowly filling with light. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is progress. A softer, friendlier mind that helps you move forward, even when things are hard. How can you make positive self-talk part of daily life? To make kind self-talk a habit, connect it to small, everyday moments. When you wake up, instead of immediately checking your phone, whisper to yourself, "Today is a new chance." Before starting a difficult task, say, "I can learn through this." When you finish your day, say, "I did what I could, and that's enough." These small phrases may seem simple, but they build emotional strength. You can also practice while learning English. If you forget a word, say, "That's okay, I'll remember next time." If you understand something new, say, "I'm proud of that." Over time, your brain learns to expect encouragement, not judgment, and soon that voice becomes your natural background sound, calm, steady, and kind. Self-talk becomes not just a practice, but a lifestyle of emotional care and self-trust. What's the connection between language learning and self-talk? When it comes to learning English, your self-talk can either block your progress or boost it. Many learners say things like, "My pronunciation is terrible," or "I'll never be fluent." These words create pressure and fear. Your brain closes and learning slows down. But if you say, "I'm improving little by little," your brain feels relaxed and curious. And that's when real learning happens. You can use positive self-talk as a learning tool. Say, "I'm proud of how far I've come," or "Every mistake teaches me something new." When you practice English with gentle words, your brain connects English with positive emotions. That emotional safety makes your memory stronger and your confidence brighter. So the next time you speak English, don't just practice vocabulary, practice kindness in your thoughts. It's the most powerful learning strategy you'll ever use. How does your inner garden grow? Imagine your mind as a beautiful garden. Every thought is a seed. When you think negative thoughts, "I'm not good enough," "I'll never change," you plant weeds. They grow fast, take space, and block the light. But when you think kind thoughts, "I'm trying," "I'm learning," "I'm proud of myself," you plant flowers. They grow slowly, but they bring color, peace, and joy. The more you repeat these kind phrases, the stronger your garden becomes. You can't stop weeds from growing completely, but you can choose where to put your energy. Water your flowers more than your fears. Your garden will never be perfect, but it can always be alive, green, and peaceful. Your self-talk is the sunlight that helps it grow. So, what kind of inner voice will you choose from today? Every day, from the moment you wake up, you have a choice. You can continue listening to the old voice, the one that says you're not enough, that you'll never improve, or you can begin to build a new voice, a calm, kind companion that says, "You're growing, you're learning, you're doing fine." Remember, self-talk is the background music of your life. When you change the song, everything feels different. The world doesn't suddenly become easier, but it becomes more peaceful, more possible. Speak to yourself with gentleness. Let your words be a soft place to land after a hard day. Because when your inner voice becomes kind, you stop fighting yourself and start becoming yourself. And that's when real confidence, real learning, and real peace begin. And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss the next lesson. Your support means so much. It keeps this space alive and growing. With love, thank you for being here, and I can't wait to continue this journey with you.